Gears of War 2's most rare and coveted achievement is the Seriously 2.0 achievement, but seeing as getting this achievement is just a really long grind, but not something that is actually difficult, I wanted to set out to get the most difficult achievement in the game. For that, I set my target on completing the campaign on Insane, but just doing that alone seemed a little too easy. So to up the stakes, I decided to do this whole achievement solo, but with one additional twist. And if you saw my Gears of War 1 video, you probably know what that is. I would be attempting to complete the campaign on Insane solo without using the game's built-in cover mechanic. Now, hiding behind walls, still fair game. But the built-in cover mechanic to cower behind chest-high walls during combat would be completely off limits. Now, to be very straight up, for much of the campaign, this restriction doesn't actually add much difficulty, it's just kind of annoying. But there are specific fights that become near impossible without being able to take cover. It begins. Gears of War 2 picks up 6 months after the first game, after the explosion of the light mass bomb, which we thought would end the war. It in fact though didn't end the war, and now Jacinto was the final stand for the humans against the Locust. The game starts out pretty slow, with some exposition where you learn that the Locust are getting closer every day, and you even find out that recently some Gears were injured just down the road. We even meet our brand new friend Carmine, who certainly will survive this time around.
Are you Sergeant Phoenix? Delta Squad?
Is that our new teammate? Oh, hell yeah.
And green as grass by the looks of it. Time to train the Rook?
I, of course, though, would skip training because real gamers always skip the tutorial, and as we gain control of our character, you learn that Anya might actually have a lead on where Dom's wife is, which would end up being one of the primary objectives of the game. You also meet another gear named Ty, who is a total badass, and you follow him to fend off a Locust raid. After all this though, just like any game, combat-wise, Gears 2 starts off pretty simple to ease you into things and let you get a handle on the game and the controls. Despite this though, that just don't have like any cover that would be, they're like, there's nothing to, Jesus Christ, okay. After our first death, I somehow managed to die on the starting area again, so things were looking really good for us. Third time was not a charm and I'd get mowed down again, but hey, you know what they say. When you suck, just keep on trying, and eventually after 3 deaths, we got past the first area of the game, so basically I'm prepared. From here, we just continued through the hospital, mowing our way through the Locust as we went until we got stuck in a room and had to wait for Jack to open the door. Surprisingly, even after our earlier failures, we were able to hold off the Locust until the door could be opened, and look who was waiting for us. The following area would bring us outside, where we would need to fight a Reaver along with some ground troops, and after a brisk 3 deaths, I would clear the street of the Locust attack force and get a nice cutscene where the Locust ran from us like little babies. We also learned that Dom apparently just got back from the We Were Young tour.
You are pissed today.
Damn right. I missed my family. I'll kill every one of these bastards.
Carmine even got a compliment from Marcus, so everyone was doing a fantastic job today. Unfortunately, Anya's lead on Dom's wife ended up being a dud, and Dom continued his sad boy grind.
Damn it! Not again! I lost her again! Ah! God damn it!
I'd also like to just point out how gigantic their hands are in Gears of War. I mean, just look at these babies. These guys should have been NBA stars or something. Following this, we get a little hype speech from Chairman Prescott to get us ready for battle. We would then head to Landfall to dig down and take the fight directly to the Locust. Heading there, our army would set out on a collection of assault derricks, which of course were attacked pretty quickly by the Locust, and most of the fighting early on in this level is pretty straightforward, as you just use the turret to shoot down some Nemesis mortars and Reavers. But after clearing out the early enemies, Dizzy would lose control of the derrick, eventually crash it into a little wall, and require him to repair the vehicle, which means we would have to get out and defend it while he worked on that. The next section would be pretty straightforward, but it is one of those sections that doesn't have much in the way of walls that you can stand behind, so it'd be kind of like our first real challenge. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, this is gonna be hard, this section, I think. To get through it though, I would just need to attempt to close the E-holes as quickly as possible, while, you know, also avoiding taking damage, and doing this would bring more enemies from above you.
Up there!
Shit. Ah, damn it. But using the ledge they were on as sort of a cover, I was able to get past it and hold on until the rig was repaired, which as soon as it was, we ran over to that baby and retreated as fast as we could. The next section would just have us using the turret to just mow down a ton of Locusts, including having to take out other derricks that had been boarded by the Locust. This little section concludes. You missed the bridge, dude. However, the next section would bring multiple Brumacs that we would need to defend ourselves from, which is actually kind of fun because you can shoot off their guns, which just makes them look funny. And the final Brumac at the top of the hill can cause some issues. What? I died? After dying to him a few times, his head's on fire. That's got to be a good sign. Come on, come on, come on. Yes! Let's fucking go! As we approach Landown, we would see our fellow rig get dominated by some tickers, but Ty is a badass, so he just walked out unscathed, though the rest of his squad does appear to have died. The next section would introduce the ticker enemy in combat, which are basically just really annoying bugs that explode when they're near you, and on Insane, these will one-hit kill you, so that's just a ton of fun. They one-shot you. Alright, that's gonna be fun. Eventually, after a couple deaths to the tickers, we would make our way to the other side of Landown, where we would need to push up a hill being defended by some locusts, including a Troika turret. And to add to the difficulty, there would be multiple Nemesis mortars that would fall out of the sky to make sure you never got too comfortable. Being able to take out the turret on this section was actually pretty difficult without being able to take cover. I don't know if this will let me, I'll take damage here, but we'll find out. Okay, we can stand here. Oh my lordy, okay. After a few deaths though, I was able to snipe the turret using our pistol despite Dom and Ty giving it their best attempt to die repeatedly. Clearing this turret would make the rest of the section of the level endlessly easier, and after slowly clearing out the remaining locust, Cole would show up and run over a wall for the assist. This would then lead us to the next section of the level, a nice long and dark tunnel with tons of tickers to keep us company. I thought I was far enough from that, man. Ah, I hate these things, man. I like how the Carmine with us is trying to snipe them, like that's the most effective. No, tickers are like fucking... The grunts aren't that annoying to fight, you know? They're just kind of whatever. That's gonna kill me! Really enjoying this. After a nice 6 deaths to the annoying tickers, we would finally get through the tunnel and complete that section of the level, though you do get attacked by a Reaver right at the end. Die, 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 die. Watch this car blow up and I just die. There we go, dude. Was that the 5th or the 9th time? If it was, hell yeah. The next portion of the level would include some rooftop combat where the Boltok would put in some work, and I would even climb a ladder and run into this. Wait, what the f? Why is this guy just up here? Why didn't he what the f? For some reason, he was just completely oblivious to us being on the roof. After clearing some more of the locust, a Brumak would appear from the tunnel, and we would use the mortar that we just got from that downed enemy to rain death upon it, and after 5 mortar shots, it would finally die so that we could hop back onto the rig. I do just want to say that these vehicles remind me heavily of these, or honestly, maybe even more so these. So I don't know who took influence from who, or if it's just a funny coincidence, but man do they feel familiar. This would just lead to another turret section, though I ended up actually using the mortar a good bit, and into the ground we would go. But before we went, Dom made sure to have us make a promise.
Yo, Marcus.
Yeah?
If something happens to me, promise me you'll look for Maria.
You got it, Dom. No problem.
Directly after this, Scourge would show up and just go to town chainsawing through the rig with literally no issue. And instead of trying to, stop and help and fight against him, Dom and Marcus would just get into the pods, locking themselves in and making it so they were completely unable to defend themselves or help fight Scourge. Ty and Dizzy though would step up to the plate, and they would attempt to hold Scourge off so that we could dig into the ground, and the last thing that you see before the pod completely closes is Ty going at it in combat with Scourge. This ends Act 1, and we're only at 30 deaths, not too bad for a 5-act game, if the difficulty didn't ramp up over time. In many ways, Gears 2 feels like a solid evolution of Gears 1. Combat mechanics, enemies, and weapons are all similar with some small additions here and there. but overall the fights feel much more intense and larger in scale. This combined with what feels like Gears 2 attempt to throw more of the bigger enemies at you leads to what is an amazing sequel to a fantastic first title. As we begin Act 2, it would take us into the Hollow, and immediately we were tasked to try and save Carmine and his squad, who are under attack by some Locust. However, quickly they all die besides Carmine, so we had to get over there and rescue him pronto. Luckily we made it to save Carmine before his unfortunate demise, and then head deeper into the Hollow, which to do this we would use a sideways grind lift to dig a nice hole through the wall ahead of us. Before being able to dig through that wall though, a group of Locusts would attack us, and using the bolt hawk we would hold them off while Jack did his little thing.
Man, it's dusty as hell.
You know the helmets have a filtering system on them, right? If you wore a helmet, then you wouldn't have to breathe in the dust.
Carmine thought he was clever here, and as we get through, another squad is being attacked by the Locust, and we would assist them from above. The red one? Is that next year? Did he throw the nade? Ah! Dom would even do something here that is a completely rare occurrence, and that's that he tried to be useful.
Alright, someone save Carmine. Save Carmine! Save him, Dom! Dom, save him! Dom, we can't lose our brother.
He died. As the fight continued, some boomers would show up. Oh god, that was a lot of damage. He shoots me, I'm guessing. Bro! I had so much health! Next time around though, we would increase our lead pumpage and get the glorious Gears sound when you complete a combat area.
Oh god.
Alright, we did it. Whew. Now being tasked to figure out what the seismic activity is. Some annoying wretches pop out, but I actually have great news for the wretches, as they are no longer my least favorite enemy in Gears. They have been replaced wholeheartedly by the Tickers, and on an even brighter side, I don't even think that you encounter the dumb lambent wretches at all in Gears 2, though I guess Tickers kind of fulfill that role. Moving on a bit, we stumble into the rock worm, which is exactly what it sounds like, a big worm made out of rock. And these don't really cause any threat, and usually you'd be able to use them for cover, but seeing as they're only chest high, for our playthrough they were pretty much completely useless. After clearing out some more Locusts, I would stumble into a sniper on the ground conveniently placed so that we could pop off a bunch of Locust heads, which is probably one of the most satisfying things to do in all of Gears of War. You know, that and chainsawing people in multiplayer, because you know it tilts them a little bit deep down. Though I will say having to move to controller for Gears 2 actually made sniping a whole lot more difficult than on Gears 1 when we were playing mouse and keyboard. Though that said, the sniper is still one of the key components to my strategy throughout the game, as I basically would just sit back and snipe anytime I had it. After walking a bit forward, we would head up a ladder into a pretty hot area with a Troika turret and some other various Locusts, and a Reaver would even come down and attack us. I hit it with a f***ing boom shot. I didn't die. God damn it. Third time's a charm though, you know, just like usual. And I was greatly helped by the fact that the Reaper AI completely bugged out.
Like how this pillar is just putting in insane amounts of work right now.
But he's like kind of dancing over there. A little back and forth action on his part. There we go. This is actually pretty funny because it's something that happened throughout the entire campaign, but honestly that's probably pretty good because I have to imagine that if the Reavers didn't get stuck all the time, they would probably completely crap on me. Following this, we would see some more grind lifts come down in the distance, and we would need to go and assist them by taking out the mortar squad that was putting in some work on them. We even got to use the mortar a bit more, which is a pretty fun new weapon in Gears 2. I also realized that we didn't actually need to use the mortar in this section, and I was kind of just wasting my own time as there was literally a turret right there.
I think it's safe to say that's not a natural K formation.
This is a cool little homage to Halo here, I imagine, or maybe just another insane coincidence. We would also encounter another new enemy here being the Cantus, which is actually the race that Scourge himself is. The Cantus fill a much different role than your standard drones, being that they can actually revive injured Locust and also scream and send tickers at you, which can be extremely frustrating. Also completely irrelevant information, but Cantus comes from the Latin word cantus, meaning having been sung, which explains their signature battle shriek. Oh, these guys are probably gonna insane. Or no, those are the guys that like res people. Honestly, the Cantus are a pretty cool designed enemy, and they even have a fancy pistol being the Gorgon Burst Pistol, which is pretty fun to use if you take it off their dead body. Our first encounter with the Cantus actually went pretty smoothly, though later on, not so much. I would then once again have some issues with a ladder. This area wouldn't be too hard though, as we would just sit up at the top sniping down on all the locusts below, and after clearing out the room we would pass through a gate and have our second encounter with our favorite Cantus Scourge. But luckily he would just kind of piss off, being followed by a massive worm that we learned the locusts have been using to sink entire cities like Lima City. We would also watch as one of our ravens got shot down, and seeing this we would head in that direction to try and investigate the crash site. In the distance you hear some humans yelling for help, and then you're introduced to yet another new enemy, dudes riding these things that are kind of like horses. These are actually pretty difficult to deal with on Insane, because unlike the other enemies, which are pretty easy to predict their movement, these will just run up on you and completely dominate you. During our fight with these guys, Dom would make sure to do his classic move, which is be completely useless. At this point, Dom hadn't completely pissed me off, but by the end of the game, I was almost happy what happens to him in the next game.
Ooh. I love the shitty one-liners, dude.
Look, ma, no face. We would also use the hammer burst a little bit in this section, which I actually probably didn't use as much during our playthrough as we should have, but I just want to say it's kind of weird. They changed it from a burst weapon to a single fire weapon. It's called the hammer burst, not the hammer single shot. So actually because of this, I requested a refund on Gears of War 2. This is just unacceptable. Anyways, here's a Reaver. Oh. Okay. Reaver just pops in, one-shots my ass. For some reason, this sets you way back, and I die to some absolute bullshit. This is probably better. Oh, he got on the car! What? Since when did they get on the car? And you might be wondering, since when in Gears can you jump? And that's a good question, and I'd like Cliff to formally answer it. Also died to this horse dude not long later. Oh, he jumped over. He jumped over. So clearly this pretty straightforward section wasn't going too well. I'd even die to this. There were snipers over there. Are they still over there? Here. I just... fucking walked into the fire, bro. Eventually though, we would make our way through and fight the Reaver again, being smart this time and using this van for cover, and after sniping a couple more dudes, we would get that glorious anxiety releasing Gears sound. Oh. Oh my god, what the heck? Oh, we did it. The next section would cause some issues as a combination of solid amount of ground troops and a Reaver would put up a good fight, but finally at the crash site we would realize that we did not make it in time as the Gears in it were killed in action, and then we were met with a nice locust ambush. Cole though, the legend himself, would show up to help out and just go complete badass mode.
Oh, it's our baby Coltrane.
I just had to play that cutscene out. It's so cool. Honestly, I really miss Gears. I hope Gears 6 is actually good. Right after this, there would be another section with a Reaver, which is just crazy how many of these you fight in Gears 2 compared to the first one.
Come on, guys. Put in the damage, please. I'm begging of you. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it.
No, we did kill it, but we died. Well, after a few more deaths to the Reaver, we would end up clearing it out in the best and most efficient way to deal with Reavers, and that's when they just go ahead and get stuck. Take that, Gears AI. Following this, we would find out Tanner, I don't actually know who that is, even though I probably should, is dead, but we are able to rescue Baird, who lets us know the Locusts are taking prisoners to process them.
Shit, I saw these Locust bitches some process.
Come on, we need to check this out.
Thanks, Cole. This would bring us to the beast barges, where we would open the first one finding it empty. However, in the second, not so much. I would play out the full clip, but I think that would probably make YouTube angry. Despite Ty being a total badass, the Locust had completely broke him. And as you get ready to fight off the Locust attack, Ty would, well, die. Gears 2 actually has some pretty damn dark moments at times, despite the other end of the spectrum, where sometimes it can be really cheesy or lighthearted. Things would continue pretty straightforward to a section that I thought was going to be extremely difficult, because in it you have to hold off the horde while waiting for an evac, and there really isn't very many places to fight from, and not take damage without using the cover mechanic. Ow. Oh my god. I just got pooped on? I don't know, I'm just gonna pick that guy up. I'm also getting shot in the back. No, I needed a melee! After a few deaths though, I'd find this spot here, where enemies would just oddly kind of walk past you, allowing me to take them out with a sniper without dying, and... yeah, shit. Okay, look. I just gotta live for 8 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go, baby! That actually wasn't that bad. Unfortunately, the giant worm had other plans for our extraction, and Carmine would slide out of the helicopter straight into the worm's tummy before we were also ingested by said worm. Dom then would have a nice little flashback with his wife Maria before Marcus rudely would wake him up. This level itself is pretty straightforward. You kind of just run through the worm until you find the heart. However, you do find Carmine.
Oh no, this is where you find Carmine. Oh, poor guy. You know, I don't think he's doing too well, guys.
Sarge,
Carmine.
I hurt. Sarge.
Poor guy. After that though, the rest of the mission continues. It's pretty simple. You kill the weird crawly things that hop out, chainsaw some openings, and eventually make your way to the heart where you cut the arteries, which will then in turn destroy the heart. Though for some reason the riftworm has multiple hearts, so you have to do it a few different times, but basically you just have to cut all the arteries before you drown in blood. The pooling blood also gives you a nice red coating. Who said the OG trilogy didn't have bright skins? Well, after destroying the last heart, the riftworm comes flying out of the ground, eventually crashing down, and you're able to just chainsaw your way out. Now one might wonder how you would survive this unharmed, but clearly the riftworm's insides are actually just made out of big pillows, so it all makes sense. This ends the second act of the game with us now at 70 deaths, which still isn't too bad. We only died about 10 more times than the first act. Following this, you would get some new orders from command and get sent to a decommissioned cog outpost. And this next act is where I feel the difficulty really begins to ramp up. Here you meet this computer dude that runs the security system and he won't let you in, and since he won't just open the door for us, we decide to just blast our way through the door, though carrying the bomb is a little bit annoying, as you get attacked by a bunch of wretches while carrying it and have to awkwardly fight them off, which with the AI can feel really weird. Once you finally lug the bomb to the door, alright, we made it. Now this guy can talk to us.
Identification? Oh yeah, I got some identification for you.
Now in the facility, the computer dude continues to be very weird, and you really begin to get some pretty eerie vibes about the place, and as you continue through it, you have to avoid dying to wretches, but also the security system and all the turrets and flamethrowers that are in the facility. As you walk down, you see these tubes that have some type of creature in them, and the computer dude says that you don't have access to this part of the facility, and eventually you get down and turn on the power, and you learn some very weird things about this place, figuring out that all the people there left to Mount Kadar. When they left though, they left behind the sires, which are the name for the creatures that we saw in those tubes not too long ago. And at the end of the recording, the video cuts out and you hear some crashing and are informed by Niles, who is the computer dude, to begin exiting the facility immediately. The sires are another new enemy in Gears 2, but they actually act pretty similarly to the wretches, though they are a little bit tankier. Attack wise though, they're just another melee enemy that kind of just runs at you, and you have to fight your way through them to get out of the facility. My first attempt, I just tried to run all the way past them and open the gate, but I quickly realized that wasn't going to be the play. To get through this section, we would have to slowly take out every sire before finally opening the gate on the other end. As usual, Dom would try his best to make things as hard as possible, but we were able to revive him this time, and eventually we would get the gate open. This takes you into another room with a bunch of computers that for some reason remind me of the dude from Saw, but in there you yeet the power and shut off Niles. Then from here you just have to get back topside to Baird and Cole, though you do run into a bunch of locusts on the way out. Once you get to the top, it's actually hailing Razor Hail, which will kill you if you stand under it for more than a second, so you have to use the various coverings to make your way back to Baird and Cole. This is pretty straightforward, though there are some fun little sections where you get to ride in a train, which moves really slowly while a ton of locusts are shooting at you. A handful of deaths later and a lot of dead locusts, the razor hail stops coming down, turning into normal rain, which allows you to clear out the few remaining locusts and finally get back to Baird and Cole. The level isn't quite over yet though, as the centaur is still damaged and you have to defend Baird from some attacking reavers while he repairs the ride.
Bear, get it fixed. We'll hold him off.
Ow. These reavers would end up pretty annoying, as there wasn't really many safe places to engage them from without taking cover. But after a couple deaths, I realized the whole section of the level prior was still open, so I just yeet my way all the way back and engage them from a distance. Just like most reaver sections, I would end up beating this with the reaver bugging out and just letting us kill it for free, with the second reaver not really doing too much. The next level would be a vehicle section driving the centaur tank, which requires you to progress through the level while trying not to die to the many locusts in your way. I actually hate driving the centaur, this thing sucks to drive, but for the most part, if you take your time, this level isn't too difficult, as long as you don't, fall into the ice like an idiot. Toward the end of the level though, you actually do hit a pretty hard part, which is when you reach the entrance of Mount Kadar, which is heavily guarded by the locust. And if you try and just yeet down the hill, on insane, you get absolutely dominated. Oh no, I'm stuck. No, that's gonna kill me. I'm trying to hit it again. I'm shooting at. No! Bro, what is the strat here? As soon as it says Dom hit the tower, I just instantly die. Dom hit the tower. Dom hit the tower. Dom hit the tower. Oh, Dom, fucking save the tank. What do I do? What do I do? Oh my god. I don't know what to fucking do. I do not know what to do. They literally spawn and just kill the tank every time. Alright, I'm done. Goodbye. I'll be back Thursday. This level's f***ing stupid. So after many deaths, and even rage quitting the stream for the night, you can tell I'm in a different outfit now, I came back the next day and was able to try a new strategy. Alright, so, I think the play here, I have a plan in place. Will the plan work? I have absolutely no clue. But, I do have a plan. So I think the strat here is we do a little backup, and the second we hear Dom, we just gun it.
Dom, hit the tower.
Run. Oh, baby. All right, we're cooking now. We are cooking now.
Tower's about to fall, man. Hit it again.
All right, here we go. We did it. Yeah, we did it finally. Alright, we died on this section so many times last night, it was actually insane. It is very nice to be past it. This would get us past this section, only dying 30 times to get through it. So really proud of myself. You continue through the entrance to Mount Kadar and now have to attempt to find the entrance to the Locust Stronghold. This section though isn't too bad, though you do have to fight some Brumoks, and it concludes with you taking a giant jump over a gap, and after landing the jump, you kind of just continue on and eventually encounter a group of stranded who are led by chaps. They actually migrated here because the surface had become too dangerous for them, and usually down here they were safe as long as they avoided Nexus, which is the Locust Stronghold that we're looking for. Dom would go and ask chaps about Maria, and he actually says that she seems familiar and that she may have been from another group that was with Stu, but unfortunately they were captured. So from here we head on down. For some reason, when I was working my way through this level, my Xbox just decided to crap itself, which may be a sign of things to come. I think it was warning me to just quit. Oh, I think the Xbox just crashed. Rest in peace, Xbox. We would reach the dock at 139 deaths, and after clearing it out and making sure to grab the turret in case we might need it, it would be time to enter the hardest section in probably the entire game, at least for a no cover run. Now it's hard to put into words how impossible this section is, kinda would have just had to watch me fail repeatedly live, but effectively you're trapped on a small piece of a floating dock and have to fight off enemies from 2 different gunships who will murder you almost instantly. What makes this even harder for us though is there's literally nothing you can stand behind to protect ourselves. There's just waist high cover that's completely useless. So here I would spend many deaths.
Marcus is like stuck. One down. Alright. Dang it! Oh, we got health back. No, I'm not ready to die. Ah! Come on, Dom, clutch up for me, buddy. God damn it, I'm whiffing. No, there's a whole nother ship? No, dude, this is gonna be fucking impossible. As I would try to get past this section, I eventually figured out that there was a cheese spot for at least the first gunship. However, every time I made it to the second gunship, this would just happen. Get him, Dom. Get him. Alright, where's this next ship coming from? Okay, hold on. Hold on. No, holy fuck, they do so much damage! I don't know what to do, man. I don't know what to do. They do too much damage. I don't think it's possible. The second boat just does too much. So after like 100+ deaths, I kind of came to the conclusion I think I was hard stuck. But after a while of just getting completely dominated, I picked up the phone and called in some reinforcements. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
And it's funny because even in co-op with the additional help, this section no cover was still insanely hard. Okay, that's this section. Get ready for the boat that kills me repeatedly.
Alright.
I'm stuck.
And we don't want to die.
Oh, alright, that's okay. Just try and kill him and then you can pick me up. If you live. Oh.
Nope. I'm about to change.
After some more deaths now, putting our death total up to over 258, I was pretty much over it and just ready to chalk it.
Nice, you got one there. On down. One more.
Hold on, Maria. He's just behind the box.
Oh, there. Yeah.
Holy shit, I think we did it. This would finally get me past the section, dying almost 130 times to this part alone, which for me puts it on par with the final boss from Gears 1. After you get through this section, you do actually get attacked by a few more gunboats, but luckily there's just some boxes that you can actually stand behind this time, and I was able to get through it pretty easily and prepare to fight the Leviathan. This boss fight is pretty straightforward. Now that said, I did run into some issues. Oh. Oopsies. Oh, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Oh, I'm even more stuck. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Thanks, Gears. Wakey, wakey. I got you. Oh no. Oh, fuck, I thought I was done! Don't sink me. No. You. Absolutely you. But after only about 10 attempts.
He's getting very angry. Oh, never mind, he's dead. We've defeated the worm.
Biggest fish I've ever caught.
Overall, I do want to give Gears props. The boss fights might not be the most insanely mechanical things to take on, but they do a good job of switching up mechanics, so it's not just literally shooting something with a big health bar, and for that I give them props, because sometimes shooter bosses are so uninspired. This fight would actually conclude Act 3 with us now at 274 deaths, which is hilarious because I died over 200 times on Act 3 alone. Act 4 would open up with us invading Nexus. However, Marcus wants to follow the giant locust army right to where the action is, while Dom obviously wants to branch off and look for his wife. They go back and forth a little bit, and then Marcus decides to help Dom, and the search for his wife begins. After a while, you stumble into a locust terminal where Jack is actually able to find Maria, accompanied by some weird symbol. So all you have to do is find that symbol on one of the computers, and she should be in a nearby pod. After searching for a bit and running into a couple of the wrong symbols, you eventually find the correct area. However, you can't just open it right away, and instead you have to defend Jack while he scans the containers to find the one containing Maria. As you're defending Jack, you get ambushed by the locust, and it includes those little horse riding dudes. Hello, sir, please die. Oh god, awfully close. Alright, a little too close for comfort. A little too close. A few days later, we were able to defend ourselves from the attacks, and there it was, one of the saddest cutscenes in all of Gears. After this, as you can imagine, Dom is fueled with grief and anger, and the two of you set into Nexus to slaughter all the locusts you run into. This just consists of a ton of combat arenas where we just pop locusts' heads off in an attempt to get to the palace and find the queen. You do actually run into a new enemy type here, being the butchers, which aren't difficult at all. They're just boomers, but instead of a boom shot, they'd have a giant cleaver. After a while, you get to a section where multiple reavers come down from the sky to attack you. Yeah, I'm kind of dealing with something right now, Dom. Oh, there's another reaver. How nice. I don't know if you can shoot the people off of them or if that's even worth the effort. It is convenient that the reavers are stupid and they get stuck. That's just karma. Usually buy like one piece of merch when I'm there. God damn it, Dom. You useless tie a pile of dookie water. We've passed 300, my friends. It's a momentous time. You just stay right there, buddy. And move on to the next combat area where once again, Dom would completely screw us over. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Dom! 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 Fucking... Dom, I've never met a more useless pile of shit than you. Hello, Dom. Please move. I'm dying. Hello. Yeah, exactly. Listen to Marcus. Move. Dom. Jesus Christ, brother. Alright, well. I hope Dom sleeps poorly tonight. Oh, there's mortars. I would love to move. This is where my hatred for Dom would really start to begin. Finishing up this area, we would reunite with Barrett and Cole and then hop onto a gondola where some reavers try and shoot you down. We soon find out that the reason the locusts are so desperate is because of their own war with the Lambent. Moving forward, you find a computer room, and on those computers you hear Adam Phoenix, who is actually Marcus's dad, saying that they need to sink Jacinto. You also get this classic Cole speech. Peace out, Switch.
Your ass is gonna be crying to your skink ass queen. Oh, mommy, you let the bad man hurt us. Fuck you. We're gonna whoop your mama's ass. Whoa!
Thank you, Cole. Thank you for the great
there we go.
speech.
One muzzled queen. Not you, her. You were great. I loved your speech there, especially with the bitch ass stuff. Very good, very enlightening.
This then brings us to our meeting with the Queen, where we tell her that we're going to sink Jacinto before her, and then we begin our fight with Scourge. Bro, why are they throwing so much ink? Holy shit. Holy... Is that to avoid you from doing what I just tried? That was so much. Now this boss fight, I wasn't even sure would be possible without taking cover. In it, Scourge has two weapons. He has the big chainsaw thing where you go into a chainsaw fight with him, and then he has the Gorgon pistol that he shoots as he runs along each side.
The encounter also includes tickers that will come out and ink grenades that are thrown at you. Unfortunately, all the cover in this area is waist high, so it would be completely useless to us. Bro, he just insta-kills you. Dude. The fucking ink, man. Is that gonna fall on me? How's this gonna work? Eventually, though, I figured out the best plan. Fuck. Okay, I lift. Come here. Oh, I'm cutting. Did we do it? That wasn't that bad. That was not bad at all. Shit. After this, we would run to board some Reavers, which would include an escape scheme where we try to get back to Jacinto, concluding with us killing the Hydra and Scourge for good. There we go, baby. Easy. Fuck you, Scourge. You suck. First try? Yeah. Totally. Once back in Jacinto, the city is under heavy attack from the Locust, and we have to help defend different sections of the city. You do this for a bit until eventually you have the task to enter the Locust sinkhole and use a light mass bomb to finally sink Jacinto for good. This journey to the sinkhole is mostly uneventful except for this one area. A combat area that was way more difficult than it had any right being, and really cemented my hatred for Dom. Dom, will you just f off? Alright, Dom, I'm gonna have a fucking aneurysm. Move! Whoever programmed Dom, fuck you. This section throws a ton at you. How's that not a headshot? And how does that... Why does the Cantus just insta-kill you? He just rolls up. Dom, what the f are you even doing up there? Dom's just fucking on a beach vacation while I fight for my fucking life. He's like, oh, the views are so nice up here. I love it when the sun sets. I hate you, Dom. I hate you with a burning passion, brother. I want to throw my controller through the f***ing wall. Can you do anything? Anything? Oh, I'm just gonna die way the f*** out there and I'm... Yup. That is so cool. That is so cool. I love Dom. That was the worst thing ever. That seemingly normal area took us a total of 20 deaths. Following this, we would continue our way into the sinkhole and even get a Hammer of Dawn to use, which is always pretty fun. Nothing here is overly hard except in this one section where Dom bugged out multiple times. Where's Dom? Dom, where are you at, brother? Oh, there you are. Dom was hiding. He killed one? That's actually an amazing accomplishment for him. Dom, get on the fucking platform. I can't leave the crane. Thanks, Dom. You're useful. Dom is
Being soft locked again. I'm about to break, dude. Continuing the theme of riding cool locust stuff, the level would conclude with us riding a Brumok and using it to make an opening to bring the Lightmass Bomb under Jacinto. After we would open a path for the Ravens to bring in the Lightmass Bomb, the Brumok that we were riding would actually go Lambent and destroy the Raven that was carrying the bomb. This would lead us just one option, using the Lambent Brumok itself as the replacement bomb. Alright, we did it. Gamer picture unlocked? Holy shit. Chat. A gamer picture?
Get us out of here now! All KR units!
One of these is the insane achievement. Whew, we did it. Only 389 deaths. That's pretty, probably right on par. Jacinto is sunk, water is flowing, and voila. 389 deaths later, I had completed Gears of War 2 no cover, basically completely solo except for that one boat section. Gears of War 2 is a fantastic game, and I really enjoyed going back to it. But for now, I think that wraps up the video. If you made it to the end, you're a total legend. And I think going forward, if we continue the rest of the Gears franchise, which is my plan, I'm probably just going to do them solo insane, rather than bothering with the no cover challenge. It honestly started to feel really gimmicky in Gears of War 2, and I don't think, besides a couple of sections, that it was really adding any difficulty to the game. It just kind of made it annoying to do. I want to give a huge shout out to all my patrons. At some point here, I'm going to redo my Patreon rewards, but for now, if you want to support the channel, that's the best way to do it. And yeah, I appreciate everyone watching. Make sure you tune into those Gears of War 3 streams once we get those started up. And hopefully, I'll see you all next time.